these raised beds are just getting going, and there's certainly nothing here to harvest yet, but we will be there within the next few weeks. And even though we have nothing here to pick really yet, it is a good time to talk about this subject. And the subject at hand is how you might be actually reducing your yields and limiting your harvests when you're picking. And specifically what we're talking about is whether or not you pick things off early on. So for example, if it's early in the season and you've got maybe your bush beans or your peas are throwing just a few, and there's nothing there that's really big enough to harvest and make a dish or a meal out of, so you leave them on the plant. You wait for some more to come along. Well, that does two things. First of all, you're basically wasting anything that is ripe and mature and ready to come off that you don't take off at the right time, because the quality and texture is just going to go by, and it's not going to be anything you're going to want to eat by the time those other vegetables do come along to round out the harvest. But more importantly, what you're doing is you're sending a signal to that plant that its job is done. Think of this from the perspective of the plant. The point of a plant is to reproduce, regrow, and basically have children, not unlike a lot of us. But when we leave things on there that are actually at their ripeness, what we would consider ripe, and then we let them go a little more, until they're past ripe, which to the plant is actually ripe and ready for seed set and reproduction. What we're doing is we're telling the plant that its job is done. It's already reproduced, it's made its seed, and it can be done. And then it will start to shut down gradually over time. In some of them, if you leave enough on, it will actually shut it down pretty quickly. Different plants are going to respond to this at different levels, but the bottom line is this. If you're not taking off even those very early, even if it's just a handful or a few, if you're not taking them off, you're sending the wrong signal to the plant, and you're already reducing your yield before you even get started. So get out there, pick those things off, even if you've just got a few. There are some different ways you can use them. A lot of these are raw things that are excellent and snacking. I mean, how many of us have made lunch in the garden while we were there, just walking through and picking off, right? But you can also do things like collect them in a mixed bag. Who says that your side dish has to be all beans or all peas? Why can't it be a mix? Make a nice stir fry. Make a bag up to save for soup, or throw it in with pasta or rice. Chop it up, extend it that way. There's lots of things you can do. You can even, keep a Ziploc bag in your freezer of just random vegetables and throw in, blanch them real quick and throw them in that bag. And then you'll have a mix. Whether you use it now in the summer or later on in the winter, it'll be there. And that's a nice mix and a nice blend of things too. So lots you can do with that, but this is the thing to keep in mind. Don't leave vegetables sitting on your vines waiting for more to come along. Get them off, use them. If you really don't want to use them, then discard them, but at least get them off the plants so that the plants can continue to try to produce and give you bigger and better yields.